Okay, so in this step, we're going to use a Python script to loop the process of creating individual kernel density surface estimates for each one of our individual animals. So remember, we have animals that are given names like CO2, CO7, C38 example. So we've just run kernel density and then 50 and 95% home ranges for the entire population. Now we want to break it down and do it by animal. And you could do this manually. You could go into the attribute table, extract each one of the animals, create shapefiles, and batch process the kernel density. You could do that, no problem. If you've got lots of animals, that might be a time issue. So we're going to use Python. This is the shortcut to the Python window here. It opens a window down at the bottom of your page. You might want to expand it so you can kind of see what you're doing. So what I would recommend doing is just loading up the script that I gave you. You right click in any area down here and hit load, and the script is there. That's what it looks like. And it's going to bring in the script that we've already prepared to do this. The one thing that you need to change is the input file. So where is your Coyote point file with the values extracted to it? Where is that sitting? And then where do you want the output files to go? And so in Windows Explorer, in my documents, I created a folder. I just called it AAA, so it sits at the top and it's easy to find. I created this folder, and so the easiest way to grab the path to this is just to select the folder that you want, and then you can even go into it if you want to, and then click the folder, and it changes it from the other way it was written to the regular path. And so I just Control-C to copy that, and then that's what's going to go in here. So our shape function, this inside the quotes here is where we're going to put the path to our output shapefile. I'm going to leave the output shapefile name for now and change that second. I'm just going to paste the path in. I do want you to notice that the slashes in between the files are backslashes. So I'm going to go ahead and paste in my Control-V to paste that in. So users, me, my documents folder, my AAA folder, and then my shapefile is actually called COY_KD_all. Okay, I'm lying. All KD. So Coyote KD, you're going to need to know what the name of yours is, but that's it. No spaces, nice and clean, as short as you can get it. And even if you have problems, get it right onto the desktop so you're not working off an external or a thumb drive. Okay, we're going to take that same path. I'm just going to use this same folder and drop all the outputs in it, and that makes it a little bit easier. So the first place you're going to go to is down here. There's two of them, the output files. A temporary file that's going to be created, what you're going to see is this temporary folder, but it's going to be named output underscore the animal name and 2 for whatever reason. So for each one of the animals, it's going to create a shapefile of points that's for the individual animal, but it's going to be a temporary file. So let's replace this. I'm Control pasting. So the C drive, I've got that same thing. I'm going to leave the output name here, that's fine, but notice that this time they're forward slashes. So I'm going to go through and change all these to forward slashes. Okay, and then same thing down here, the D temp out. I'm going to replace Control-V with my path to my output AAA folder, replacing all the backslashes with forward slashes. Whoopsies. Carefully, of course. And then these are, the TIFF means these are going to be the output individual KDE rasters. All right, then what you do to run this is get your cursor at the very end and just hit enter. And hopefully you will see a bunch of successful, here I'm going to move this over for you. You're going to see a bunch of windows popping up with green check marks as this thing plods through, pulls out a selection of animals, runs the kernel density. It's going to select a bunch of points, create a new point file from them, run kernel density, and it's just going to iterate through that until we've taking care of all the different animals. You can see stuff's going on up here as well. So far so good. Just scrolling down here, you can see it's processing through each one of the animals, and kernel densities running. Okay, when the tool's all done running, you'll get your 3 witch hats, whatever they're called, and that's it. Arc isn't going to automatically add all this. It adds the temporary files to your map for you, but you need to go into your file, and then these are, I'm just using Control to select all the rasters that were created. These are the individual kernel densities for each particular animal. So that's pretty slick. What you get to do next is go through and calculate the 50 and 90% for each one. So we are going to have a different range of values in here. If we go into each one of these, now we have 122 for animal C38, but we've got that raster value over here, and you will calculate 50 and 95% and take note of all those.